Hey everyone, welcome to week 2. Now I know last week you're diving in, you're going through the nitty-gritty. Like I said, the first 2 weeks are going to be hard, but I want to let you know that I'm very proud of you for making it to the second week. Whether you finished last week's assignment or not, let me tell you that this is all at your own pace. I just don't want you to get overwhelmed by, week 2, week 3 having multiple assignments to do. That's why we're spacing these out a week at a time, because we know that some of us are moms, significant others, we have jobs, we go to school, we have all of the above. We're taking care of everybody else besides just ourselves. So it's not like we can just take time out of our day whenever we want to get stuff like this done. Plus, we also know that assignments, journal prompts, homework, like I'm giving you, they're not easy. So when you may want to sit down and do your homework and be focused, maybe you need to take some space. Maybe you need to take a bath. Maybe you need to take a walk. Maybe you need to go for a drive. Maybe you need to scream into your pillow. I get it. Like, these are not easy tasks by any means. So do what you got to do and be proud of yourself along the way. Continue to give yourself grace and continue showing up because you deserve it. So last week I had you guys write your past story and you're rewriting your current story, the story that you truly believe is true for you or you want to believe it's true for you. We're going to get there a little bit quicker by going through the steps today. So we're going to first start with letting go. We hear quotes all the time, podcasts, all of these things about letting go. Just let it go. If someone irritated you, let it go. If someone wronged you, let it go. We know in our heart of hearts that it would benefit us to let shit go. However, it's not as easy as everyone seems to make it. That's why I'm here for you. So number 1, be willing. You're going to hear me talk a lot about the willingness. Be willing to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and habits. Here's the thing. You may have a bad habit that you do or a pattern or trigger that you constantly do. And you're like, that doesn't feel good. I don't know why I keep doing it. I want to change it. Wanting to do something is completely different than the willingness to do something. Are you willing to do what it takes to change that thought pattern? Are you willing to do what it takes to change that belief? Are you willing to do what it takes to change that bad habit or that trigger or et cetera, et cetera? The willingness means you're committed, you're determined, and you're actually implementing action. See the difference? So be willing to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and habits. How you do that? Number 1 is know that you deserve more. Know that you deserve more. How do you know that you deserve more if your entire life, 25, 35, 45 years, you've been telling yourself that I'm not worthy. I don't deserve anything better. Like, this is what I deserve because of this mistake I made or this thing I did or the way I treated that person. We've been telling ourselves these lies, this story for so long that deep down inside, we don't feel like we deserve these things. So how you feel or how you change your mindset, how you change the neurons in your brain to help you realize that you deserve more. My personal favorite thing in the whole world, because it's my love language. Excuse me. Words of affirmation. I am statements are the most powerful words you will ever speak to yourself. Whatever comes after I am, if you repeat it, you believe it. So all these years you've been telling yourself, I am not good enough. I am unworthy of love. I am unappreciated. I am undeserving of affection. I am overweight, unhealthy, broke, insert whatever. Now we're going to switch it up. We're going to start replacing that with words that we want to be true. I am enough. I am worthy of love. I believe in myself. I am an exceptional mom. I am patient. I am kind. I am gracious. I am grateful. I am strong. I am unstoppable. There's so many different things that you can use behind I am that could benefit you. And I'm not saying just do these today. This is something that you should do every single day. The more you do it, the more you will believe it. just like those negative self-talk. Every morning, you guys, every morning, part of my morning routine is journaling. Part of my journaling is writing my I am statements. I have a notebook roughly this size. On one whole piece of paper, I write I am statements, top to bottom. And I don't stop until I'm done, and I reread them. And I'm going to tell you this, at first, it may seem weird. It may seem inauthentic. It may seem forced. That's because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You are doing something that you're not familiar doing, which is talking kindly to yourself. But I'm telling you, the more consistent you are with these positive words of affirmation, the more you will believe them and the easier it will feel to create these lists for yourself. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is replacing negative thoughts with positive thoughts. We go throughout the day like, we spill coffee on ourselves. Of course I did that. I'm such a klutz. Or, yelling at someone that cut you off. I can't effing believe you. You flip them off. My mom's the worst with road rage. Here's what you can do. So if, for instance, you're driving, someone cuts you off on the freeway, you're freaking out. You usually flip them off, scream at them, get some road rage, whatever. Instead of thinking that they did that on purpose, use empathy. Like this one time I was driving with my mom. This guy cut her off. She's flipping the finger, yelling. I look at her and I said, you do realize that I'm the only one that could hear you yelling. She's like, it doesn't matter. He da 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 da. And I said, well, Mom, you never know what he's going through. What if his wife is in labor, having their first baby, and he's trying to rush to the hospital? And she looked at me and she's like, damn it, Vicki. Because all of a sudden, when you think like that, you have empathy for that person. So you stop getting angry at them. You stop holding a grudge or resenting them, what they did to you. You stop feeling like they wronged you. If you have empathy for someone, you're using your love and your heart and your kindness, and that automatically makes you feel better instead of like having that anger, that emotion of anger inside of you, right? So replace negative with positive. Number three is create mantras for yourself. This is very similar to words of affirmation. Saying a mantra or having a mantra is something that you say to yourself frequently. Like, if you think like you're the worst mom, you're impatient, you're always snapping at your children, or you work 9 to 5 and so you're unable to show up at, field trips and all these things, and you're just really down on yourself. Maybe something that you can say to yourself every day is, I'm an exceptional mom and I show up the best possible way that I can for my children. I'm an exceptional mom and I show up the best possible way I can for my children. Maybe that mantra needs to mean something about your confidence, about your body, about the way you fuel yourself, about your relationships, about how you handle money, about anything in your life that matters to you. Creating a mantra is like your elevator pitch to yourself. That's number three. Number four. This is where it's going to get a little bit tough, but I want you guys to stick with me. Forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is the key to letting go, to truly letting go. It allows our mind and our hearts to heal and to release. Now, I'm going to come back to this because this is going to be this week's journal prompt. But when I tell you to forgive, you are not doing it for the comfort of anyone else. You are not doing it to please anyone else. You are doing this for the sanity and for the healing of yourself. But like I said, we'll come back to forgiveness. Okay, now we're going to move on to frequency. The more you do a positive healing habit, the greater the outcome. You guys remember me saying in step 1 about words of affirmation, doing it every single day, being consistent with it every single day, you're going to have a greater outcome. Just like if you want to lose 10 pounds and you eat McDonald's all day, every day, and then you're like, oh, well, I'm going to add in a salad Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Well, those 3 salads a week is not going to do you very good. What you do more often is going to get a greater outcome. It's going to help you reach your goals overall. So if you start incorporating a salad every single day and workouts every single day and more water every single day, guess where you're going to be? A lot closer to your goal than incorporating McDonald's every single day or skipping a meal, or, you get the gist. The more you do a positive healing habit, the greater the outcome. Which leads me to convenience over priority. We cannot do these habits out of convenience. We cannot decide to change our life when it's convenient for us. We know that there's always going to be things that happen. Our dogs need to be fed and watered and taken outside. Our kids need us. Our significant others need us. Our job needs us. We need to do something else. We need to go grocery shopping, fold the clothes, do the laundry, all of these things. So we have to prioritize the things that truly matter to us. And here's the kicker, you guys. By now, if you haven't already started making yourself a priority, I'm giving you full permission to do so. More times than not, we're givers. And if you're not a giver, naturally, that's completely fine. But listen to me for a second. When you constantly give yourself, give your energy, your effort, your time, your finances, your love to someone else, you're leaving yourself, your love, your happiness, your goals, your dreams, your desires on the back burner. Like, how many of us, we've all been in new relationships, I'm sure. How many of us put that relationship first and then we start gaining weight? Men, women, across the board, this happens to everybody. Why? Because you start making your relationship a priority. You stop showing up at the gym. You guys are eating out more with all the dates and having drinks and all the fun and stuff. That's what you make a priority. You're no longer making your health or your fitness or your goals or your nutrition or any of that a priority. See where I'm going from here? It is okay. It is more than okay for you to make yourself a priority. So if journaling needs to be a priority of yours, be willing to make it a priority. If these homework assignments need to be a priority, be willing to make it a priority. If there's anything outside of this course that you know deep down inside that you need to be making a priority instead of convenient, make it a priority. Because the more frequently you do something, the better the outcome. My little, I don't want to say like my little quote or whatever, you can't half-ass, or if I'm going to do anything, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going to use my whole ass, right? If I fall in love, I'm all in. If I pursue an adventure, I'm going to go all in. If I do a project, I'm going all in. I'm not going to dip my toe in. I'm not going to do it every once in a while. What's the fucking point of doing something if you're going to half-ass it? You're wasting your time and your energy and your effort, your money, all of these things, when you could be doing something that you truly desire using your whole ass. Use your whole ass. Hashtag, you could hashtag and tag me in it if you use that. So there's a couple of little life hacks that I use, and these may be goofy for you. Actually, all of this stuff, maybe not goofy, uncomfortable. We're going to use the word uncomfortable and unfamiliar, because these are things you've never done before. Anything that you've never done before is uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable. Maybe you get anxiety, you get anxious. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. You shut me down. Maybe you've paused me a few times. Maybe you walked away. Maybe you cussed at me. I don't even know. But what I do know is that everything great happens out of your comfort zone. So here's a couple life hacks. So life hacks, self-love hacks. So I'm gathering, I have a pile of Post-it notes. As you can see, I use lime green a lot. I have a pile of Post-it notes because words of affirmation mean so much to me, and because I was in such a negative headspace for 28 years of my life. I need additional help when it comes to me changing my thought process. So I've done this for 10 years. I haven't done it here. I don't know why, because it's not like we just moved in here, but I've always had Post-it notes around my house. I believe in myself. You look beautiful today. You're fucking awesome. Have a great fucking day. You deserve the world. All of these things, words of affirmation on Post-it notes all over, on my computer, on my bathroom mirror, right next to my bed when I go to sleep and when I wake up in the morning, on the refrigerator, on the coffee pot, in the kitchen, everywhere, you guys, everywhere. The more you see something, the more your brain starts to process it. Here's the thing. What if you have kids? What if you invite people over? What if someone says something? Wouldn't you want your kids to look at that post-it and be like, I am awesome. I do believe in myself. Or if you have your sister or your mom or your wife or whoever comes in the bathroom and say, you look beautiful today. Wouldn't you like them to see that? At first, maybe someone might joke about it, but just like you at the very beginning, they're probably going to joke about it because it's uncomfortable to them because they don't know anything different. Because when they look in the mirror, they're like, oh, I'm nitpicking this, and I wish this was different and all this stuff, and my roots and my whatever. But could you imagine if by making just a little hack, putting Post-its around your house, and if your kid walks by that every single day and starts telling themselves that every single day, could you imagine the difference it can make in their life? Because I know if I was a middle schooler or a high schooler and I was reading words of affirmation every single day, it would have changed so much. So many decisions would have been different in my life. Also, besides Post-its, we all have cell phones, right? So I know, because I have an iPhone, I'm not sure about Android, so forgive me, but I know on Android or on iPhone, you can set reminders on your phone. You can set them to go off at a certain time throughout the day. You can set them to go off when you leave your home. You can set them to go off when you're at a new place. You can set quotes, words of affirmation, your mantra, whatever you want as a reminder on your phone. I have I am statements that pop up every hour on the half an hour. So at 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. You don't have to do it as frequently as I do. But I am a big advocate of throwing everything at your self-love, your self-worth as you can. Because in all reality, you are the only one that is capable of making yourself truly feel loved. Do I need to say that again? As much as our partners care for us and love us, as much as our children care for us and love us, as much as our parents care for us and love us, that is not the love that we can give ourselves. And here's the thing with this. If you don't truly love yourself, you are not truly accepting others' love. That's why we're here. So you can set a reminder on your phone. Fun fact, ever since Gage was 6, I got him an iPad mini for Christmas. I never once told him to do this, but he's programmed reminders on his phone or on his iPad mini to go off. One says, I'm awesome. The other says, if A and B doesn't work out, there's 24 other letters in the alphabet or something. It's silly. The other one says, like, I'm great at Fortnite. Kid thing. But I'm passing those things on. Like, for me, standing up for myself and developing self-worth tendencies, I'm breaking that pattern that has trickled down from my parents and their parents and their parents. So I'm creating new habits and he's picking them up, whether I'm telling him to do them or not, which in this case, I'm not. He's just doing them on his own. Reminders are also great for triggers. Like if you don't get along with your parents, anytime that you could set the location on your reminder to pull up, when you pull up to your parents' house, you can set your mantra to go off. I am patient. I breathe through hard situations, whatever you wanted to say. And last but not least, as I'm going to say every week, give yourself grace. You're not perfect. We're not striving to be perfect. We are human. We make mistakes. We may resort back to negative thoughts. We may resort back to negative words of our negative I am statements. We may get so mad at someone and lash out before even taking a breath. Give yourself grace. Now, for this week's journal prompt, this is another juicy one. We're not going to call it hard. We're not going to call it difficult. We're going to call it juicy. So this week, your first journal prompt, yes, there's going to be 2 again. Your first journal prompt is you're going to write yourself a forgiveness letter. You're probably like, what? Yes, you're going to write yourself a forgiveness letter. We cannot forgive anyone else until we forgive ourselves first. You can forgive yourself for allowing certain things to happen. You can forgive yourself for resenting someone. You can forgive yourself for not trying as hard as you could, or for not trying at all, or for failing, or for making a mistake, or for X, Y, and Z. I'm sure you can pull out your homework assignment from last week and look through your story and find many things that you can forgive yourself about. The more deeper you go with this forgiveness letter, the greater the outcome. So take some time, focus on yourself, make yourself a priority, make this a priority. And if you only get to one of these 2 journal prompts, I want it to be this one. Write yourself a forgiveness letter. Dear so-and-so, I forgive myself for, let it go. And here's the thing, you may add to this thing next week or the week after or 3 months down the line. That is absolutely okay. Your forgiveness letter, you're going to keep. You're going to tuck it away. No one needs to see this. You don't need to turn it in. But sorry, I saw a little nap. You're going to keep it for yourself, just in case you need to ever come back to it and add. Second journal prompt. You're going to write forgiveness letters for those who have hurt you. Whether they apologized or not, whether deep down inside you're like, fuck, yes, I'm being colorful. They don't deserve an apology, or they don't deserve my forgiveness. They may not, but you deserve to forgive them, because you're carrying weight on your shoulders that is no longer yours to carry. What happened, happened. You cannot go back and change the past. But living in your present and carrying this weight that you've been carrying, resenting, holding grudges, being mad at, being pissed off, not going certain places or not hanging out with certain people because this person might be there or this happened over there. You're not living life like you could if you let that shit go. And how we do that is forgive others. Now, the difference between your self-forgiveness letter and these forgiveness letters, they don't need to know about it, and you do not need to keep them. You can write your ex a forgiveness letter for all the wrongdoing that you feel like they did and all the hurt that they caused. You can burn that shit. You can cut it up. You can bury it. You can don't flush it down the toilet. It might clog your toilet, but you can destroy it any way you want. You can do that with all your forgiveness letters. And the great thing about this is going to be a tool, a resource, if you will, for any time down the line that something happens. You can be like, in that moment, I promise you, because this is what I do. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need to write a forgiveness letter about this sometime soon. Because if you don't, it's going to be one of those things that you sweep under the rug. And then again, your rug is just going to continue to pile up. So with that said, you got your work cut out for you. You have 2 journal prompts, your self-forgiveness letter, and the forgiveness letter for others. I hope you guys are checking in every night with your mindset check-in. That way we can keep ourselves on track. I hope you're making yourself a priority and you're pushing through the hard, because the light is at the end of the tunnel, I promise you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Talk to you next week.